Okay, so we already compared the Tab S6 Lite to the new iPad 10. So now we've got the S6 Lite's big brother, the Galaxy Tab S7 FE, to see how it compares to Apple's new iPad. So let's go ahead and get started. The cost of these two are actually pretty close. The iPad starts at $449 in the United States. The S7 FE starts at $529, but I would be shocked if you couldn't find it for less than $400 since it's been out for a while. When it comes to the screens on these two, both are using LCD displays. The Galaxy Tab is a larger 12.4 inch with 1600 by 2560 resolution. The iPad has a 10.9 inch 1640 by 2360 resolution, so pretty similar in resolution, but obviously larger on the Galaxy Tab. The iPad has pretty good brightness overall, but on the Galaxy Tab, it just appears to be slightly brighter. Colors seem to be a little more vibrant in person compared to the iPad. But you can't go wrong with either one when it comes to the screen quality. Now, even though the Galaxy Tab is larger, it only lasted about a half hour longer than the iPad, and my battery drain test at about 6 hours versus only 5.5 for the iPad. And that's with both at 100% screen brightness, but both should have plenty of juice to get you through a normal workday. Obviously more if you turn the screen brightness down, and it's also going to depend on what types of stuff you'll be doing. So overall, pretty similar on battery life, just a little bit better on the Galaxy Tab. You're gonna have USB-C charging for both tablets, but only 20 watts for the iPad 10, up to 45 watts for the Tab S7 FE. Now, when it comes to performance, just to be clear, the S7 FE that I have is model T738U, which is the Verizon version, and it has the Snapdragon 750G processor instead of the 778. It also has 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage, but there's also going to be other versions out there that has 128 gigabytes of storage with 6 gigabytes of RAM, and you even get 8 gigabytes of RAM if you go with the 256 gigabytes of storage. The iPad's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, and you have the option of 64 or 256 gigabytes of storage, and the processor is the Bionic chip A14. Now keep in mind, Geekbench scores don't tell the entire story, but just one glance at them when you're comparing these two gives you a pretty good idea of the difference between these two tablets when it comes to performance. And then somewhat similar with gaming, both are going to be decent when it comes to gaming, but I feel the iPad's going to be better. Not a huge surprise considering the better performance, but both tablets can handle Asphalt 9, PUBG Mobile, Apex Legends Mobile fairly easily, and I think most people are going to enjoy gaming on either one. The iPad is going to be easier to handle since it's smaller, but if you're using a controller, it's kind of nice to game on a larger screen like on the Tab S7 FE. When it comes to the software on these two, the Galaxy Tab just got updated recently to One UI 4.1.1, and now it has the taskbar down at the bottom. Kind of nice to have if you're in landscape mode, although in my opinion, it kind of clutters things up when it's in portrait mode. Of course, you can turn the taskbar off in the settings. The Galaxy Tab is on Android 12 as of this video. The iPad is on iPadOS 16.1.1. So when it comes to software, it may just come down to personal preference. I kind of like things about both, and you can't go wrong with either one, especially now that you can zoom in on YouTube videos for the iPad, something that was long overdue in my opinion. One advantage the iPad has over the Tab S7 FE is you get the fingerprint scanner right on the power button, or Touch ID as Apple calls it. Unfortunately, you don't get that on the Galaxy Tab. You would have to go up to the S7 or Tab S8 to get that feature. Now on the other hand, the Galaxy Tab has a slight advantage over the iPad because it has the S Pen included, where you have to pay extra to get the Apple Pencil 1st gen for the iPad 10. I also feel like the S Pen is a little bit better overall for drawing, taking notes, that kind of thing. Just seems like you're a little more limited with the Apple Pencil compared to the S Pen. But again, this one's going to be sort of personal preference as well. Nice thing is you can attach a keyboard and mouse to both of these to make it feel a little more like a laptop and to be a little more productive. I do feel the Galaxy Tab has a slight advantage though, since you're going to get Samsung DeX, where unfortunately you're not going to get the Stage Manager that just came out for iPads, even though I'm pretty sure the iPad 10 could handle it. Now you won't get a headphone jack on either tablet, but you're still going to get some nice sounding speakers located on each side for both tablets. To me, the iPad speakers definitely sound better than the iPad 9. They're a little better balanced since you have them on each side, but the Galaxy Tab speakers are going to be quite a bit louder in person. Here's a quick sample of each, just to give you an idea of what to expect. Then when it comes to the cameras, you've got an 8 megapixel rear facing on the Galaxy Tab, 5 megapixel front facing, a little bit better on the iPad with a 12 megapixel wide angle lens for the rear facing, 12 megapixel ultra wide for the front facing. Neither one is going to be the best cameras out there, but still pretty decent for tablets. One advantage you have with the iPad, you can shoot up to 4K resolution, 60 frames per second for video recording. Here's a quick sample of each, just to give you an idea of what to expect. So hopefully this video gave you a little closer look at the new iPad 10 versus the Galaxy Tab S7 FE. They are somewhat similar in price, but obviously there's going to be some things that may make you lean towards the iPad or towards the Galaxy Tab. I definitely have some more comparisons to do for the iPad 10, so you'll want to look out for those upcoming videos. So if you've made it this far into the video, you may want to say thanks by subscribing, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if this video was helpful. This is Brian from Fishbee Productions. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.